welcome to my video. I'm Susanna and I'm the creator and designer behind the Aquatone. So today we are going to make a super adorable project. We are going to make a felt rosary. I will give you the little boy option and the little girl option. Are you excited to make this happen? Let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So first step is you need to print the PDF that I provided with the pattern, okay? And as soon as you have that in front of you, make sure that you get a good pair of scissors to cut paper only. It is not recommended to use the same scissors to cut paper and fabric, felt, and any other kinds of material. So make sure that what you get is for paper only. So I already have here one piece. So this is the front of the hair. So I'm going to cut the rest of them. Okay, so here we already have all of the pieces, cut out from that PDF. And I wanted to pay attention to what I have inside of each shape. Okay, for example, this one is the body. It says body cut 2 times, which means that we're going to cut twice on the felt, because we need to have 2 pieces to make the body. Same thing with the wings, we are going to cut 2 times. Same thing with a cross, and so forth. Okay, so let's move to the felt. Okay, so let's start with the body. Okay, so we have here the piece for the body, the shape for the body, and I'm going to make the body this time in purple. So we're going to cut 2 of these. So here's the pen that I use, is the disappearing ink pen. A lot of times people ask me what pen I use, and this is the one I use. There's different kinds of pens that do the same job. Some of them don't disappear with time, but this one does, and I've tried others, and this one is the one that I like the most. So let's place the shape in here, and let's go around. Okay, again, for the body we're going to cut 2 of these. So usually I just flip over here and do the same thing. So we're going to do the same thing for every shape, depending on what shape we are doing. For example, if we are working with the face, we are going to use a different color of felt. Of course, the hair, for example, there's a lot of different colors that you can use. And so right now, let's cut this one. So usually what I do, instead of just carrying the entire piece of felt with me, I just go here. And remember, the scissors that we use to cut the felt should be always the same. So don't use the scissors to cut paper, for example, or other kinds of materials. So always grab a nice pair of scissors for felt or fabric. Is pretty much the same thing, but not the ones like for paper, for example, because that's not good. At the end it doesn't do a good job. So here's the first one. And in the beginning, if this is your first time working with felt, so this felt that I'm using is wool felt. I've tried different felts, and this is the best so far. I love working with wool felt and not going back. And at the end it does a beautiful, beautiful piece. Okay, so here we have the body. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the rest of them. Okay, so here I have all of the felt shapes already cut. So 2 of each, the ones that I have to cut 2, and 1 of each, the one that I have to cut 1. So now let's start sewing these pieces together. Okay, so let's start the sewing parts. So the string that I usually use is the cross stitch string, okay? And on this one, I'm gonna use a very light yellow color that matches, you know, the felt color. So usually I don't go and cut a very long string. So I go more or less, you know, the size of my arm. And something that I'm going to show you is that instead of grabbing, see, we're going to use one string only. So if this is your first time, I'm going to show you something that is very interesting. So instead of trying to open both like this, separate like this, don't do that. So just grab the one that you want, and with grabbing the rest of the strings with your finger, the other fingers, so just drag it all the way down. Okay, it will look like that. Okay, and you're going to cut what I want. Okay, and then just get the rest back, and we're going to use this one. Here's the needle that I'm going to use. The needle that I like using usually are small and very thin, but yours can be bigger and thicker than this. I've tried different ones, and this is the one that I like the most. So there's no rule for the needles. Okay, we are having a hard time here. Let's try once again. Oops, let's try the other side. Okay, so we pull, we get just a knot in here. And like I said, I'm going to use one string only, okay? So we grab both pieces. So I'm starting with the wings, so we grab both pieces. Some people like to use, which is okay, you don't have to, but again, if it's your first time, it's maybe helpful if you do it. So you can always use, you know, a pin and grab both pieces together. This way, you know, it's easier for you. Okay, so let's start. I'm gonna start from the bottom, and so I'm gonna do the blanket stitch. Okay, so we are going to start from the inside. See, you open both. You start from the inside, and it's going to be close to the edge. Okay, so we are going to start from the inside to hide this knot. Okay, so you started from the inside, you get both pieces together, you go all the way to the other side, okay, close to the edge as well, and you go all the way to the other side, matching where the other string is coming out. Okay, you pull and you have a loop here, so you're going to pass the needle under that loop, okay? And you pull it and it gets stuck in there, and that's how we begin, okay? So let's go to the first string, first stitch. So you start on this side, you go through the other side, you pull, again there's a loop in here, you're going to, with the needle, you're going to pass under the loop, and is that. Second one again, from this side through the other side, you're going to pull and under the loop. Again, from this side through the other side, you pull and you go under the loop. Okay, I'm gonna do this closer to the camera. So you start from this side through the other side, you pull, there's a loop, you with the needle goes under the loop and you pull. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the Okay, so let's move forward. Let's work on the little angel's body. So here I have the little legs and feet, okay? So I want to show you something. So before we start putting these together and sew around, I want to show you how I do this to not get frustrated. So usually I use the tacky glue. There's a lot of other brands on the market, and a lot of times I use this one. The only thing is not those glues that you put on and it dries right away. So this one takes a little bit. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the one that I use. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get some of the glue in here, just on this edge, okay, and I'm going to place in here. Make sure that you do not put the edge on the edge, okay, because we need some room for the sewing. Okay, so not edge on the edge, so you're going to put some inside. Okay, make sure there's also no glue too close to the edge. Okay, so that's why I'm putting on this edge of the foot, because it will be here. Okay, so not edge with edge, it will go inside of the body. Okay, so what we would need to do in here is to wait some hours to let it dry and then start sewing. So that's what we're going to do. While this dries, I'm gonna start working on the cross because it's the same color, and I already prepared the needle here with the string. So let's put this to the side and let's work on the cross. So as you can see, not sure if you are able to see, some of the edges here are slightly not as round, and that's okay, because when we go around, it will be nice. Okay, so this one, is not going to be like the wings. So the wings don't have anything inside, but the cross will get the filling inside. Okay, so usually I like to start from the bottom, not from the middle, but from the side, because we're going to start here, we go all the way around and end here, and we're going to fill as we go, which I will show you along the way, but that's how I like to do. Okay, so let's start again from the inside here, and we're going to do the blanket stitch as well. So for the entire piece, I'm going to do blank stitches. Okay, so let's go to the other side, come through this side, matching where the other one is coming out. We're going to pull. So there's a loop in here, and you're going under. Okay, it's stuck in there. So let's Okay, so something interesting that I want to show you. So instead of sewing all the way to the end and then start filling, these areas, I would like to do little by little as I go. So I already have this, and I already have this loop. So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm able to get some stuck in there, so I have the filling here, and carefully put some inside. Usually when I buy the bags of filling, it comes with this stick, which is helpful. A lot of times I like to also use an old brush, and sometimes what I do, which is not recommended unless you already have some experience, that's okay, is using the scissors. Okay, you can go like this, but if you don't have experience doing this, because you can easily cut the string in there, for example, and then you have to start over. So it's really best start with the wooden stick, okay, because that works as well. Okay, so we have some in here, some in here, so let's continue sewing. Then we'll add more filling as we go. Okay, so before I continue on this side, so this is already finished, so instead of continue all the way here, I'm going to take advantage of this room in here and fill this part. Okay, so let's add some of the filling in here. Carefully and with some patience, because sometimes the filling does not do what we want. So usually I like to put a good amount of filling, not until it breaks the stitches, but the way that it looks nicely filled and it doesn't get wrinkled or anything. So it's nicely filled. Okay, so let's continue with this part in here. Okay, so now see what I wanted to show you is, see the gap in here? This is perfect for us to now put the rest of the filling inside. And then we just need to finish. So remember, the top part is already filled. And now we're going to fill the top part. Always carefully, because sometimes you can break the stitches. So nice and carefully with some patience. Okay, so now you can finish in here. Okay, so last stitch matches the last one, actually matches the very first one. So like I said, usually I go to the back, I go to the end of this stitch, and I just go through the edge, not showing on this side. Again, this is the way that I do. If you do differently and it works for yourself, that's perfectly fine. Okay, I can see already that I wish I put a little bit more filling in here on the bottom, but that's okay. We can go carefully pull some of the filling down. So always try to be careful and do not break the stitches. And that's it. So here we have the little cross. Cute, right? So now we're going to sew the body the same way that we did the cross.